We are in a spiritual battle, not a discussion, a battle. Yes, God has a plan for your life, but so does the devil. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and also welcome if you are new. I'm so grateful to have you here. So my name is Akua B and here on this channel I cover all things faith, lifestyle and beauty related, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a Bible study on a portion of Ephesians 6, and I'm so excited to be able to do this because I've wanted to play around with reading and studying the Bible in a way that's incorporated into my channel, and literally yesterday I just finished my whole Bible for the first time. So I'm so excited to get into this. So this is going to be part one of a two-part video release. The first part is going to be focusing on an Ephesians 6 Bible study, which is dealing with spiritual defense and all of the armor of God and all of those good things. And then the second part is going to be a story time like video where I'm going to be discussing my spiritual battle journey and spiritual attack experiences when I was coming to faith, or at least trying to. But before I get straight into that, I just want to quickly encourage you to leave a like down below on today's video and make sure to comment down below something encouraging for another viewer that passes by, or if you have any stories of your own or any testimonies, then please leave them down below to do with Ephesians 6, a time when you had to wear the armor of God and the time where God was glorified through a spiritual battle that you had. And if you haven't already, then please make sure that you are subscribed to this channel for more content just like this, and if you are already subscribed, then please make sure to hit the notification bell so that you know as soon as part 2 has been released. And let's get straight into it. Okay, so I'm first just going to read the extract of Ephesians 6 that I'm going to be basing today's Bible study off. And it's Ephesians 6 verses 10 through to 18. And it says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armour of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints." Okay, so the first thing that I took from this extract of Ephesians 6 is that I need to be strong in the Lord and not in myself. I think it's very easy to try and do everything by our own will and try and do things by our own strength and get the feeling of defeat when we can't achieve or accomplish different things in life. But we need to be relying on the strength of God and not our own strength, because by our strength things are impossible, and they seem impossible because they kind of are, but with God anything is possible. The second thing that I took from it is that we need to be wearing the whole armour of God, not just pieces of it, and this is a command and it's a lesson in obedience because we're not even taught what the threat is yet. So the first thing that we're told in this extract is that we're going to need the strength of God. It's literally the first thing that's mentioned, and this just makes me think, oh yeah, like I should have been obedient from that first sentence when I read verse 12, when it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." And how are we as humans meant to see that? How are we meant to acknowledge that and understand it and make our way around it? We can't without the wisdom and knowledge and discernment of God. So it just teaches me to really rely on the strength of God, because his strength is omnipotent and it's omniscient. He can see things and know things that we don't know yet because he wants our obedience first, and then he will let us know afterwards. And then finally, he gives us the reason as to why we need to obey in verse 11 by emphasizing it once we've already read verse 12. Because in verse 13 it says, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armour of God, that ye may be able to withstand evil in the evil day, and having done all to stand." So it's basically re-emphasizing this is why you need the whole armour of God. So first of all it said you need the armour of God, and then it said why you need the armour of God, and then it said now do you understand why you need the whole armour of God? It's basically re-emphasizing from verse 11 and 13, and then giving you the reason why in the middle. Okay, so now I'm just going to talk through each of the different pieces of armour and why they're important, at least what I take from it. So the belt of truth is important because that is your security, that you're in truth. That is when you put that on and secure that in place, you know you're secured by truth. You're held in place by truth. You're stabilized by truth. And I just think that's such a perfect description of the armour of God, because each of these things have such specific and distinct reasons as to why they're each piece. So yeah, that belt of truth is security and just that knowing and protection in truth. So the breastplate of righteousness, to me, the chest is usually puffed up in battles, especially with male combat. It's usually puffed up. You usually use that as a symbol of strength and a symbol of where your power is at. And our power is in our righteousness in Jesus. We're no longer constrained and blotted with sin in Jesus. That is our righteousness, and to show that off and to be proud of that is at the forefront of us. It's like a symbol of strength. The next one is having your feet shod with the gospel of peace. And I think this one was I was thinking about the first point, which was the belt of truth, because I'm kind of doing this off the fly of what I think of each one of them. But this kind of made me think, whilst I was thinking about the belt of truth, the feet are such an important part of your armor, because it's the place where if you have one pebble in your foot, if you have a tiny stone, over time that is going to wear you down. And your feet are also a symbol of direction and purpose. So what is our purpose? The whole purpose is to share and spread the gospel. So our feet being kind of the directors and the dictators of where we'll go and what our purpose is so intentional for it to be the gospel, because that is our whole purpose and that is our direction. Even if the different parts of our armor gets bruised or battered, we still know our direction and we still know our purpose initially. Okay, so the next one is the shield of faith. And I think this is, it's a strong one, because you need that shield. Shields back in the olden days could go from being disc size to being massive things. And I just think of the shields where it's a massive shield, head to toe on your arm, that kind of shield. But shields are so important in battle, and our shield, obviously it says it's a shield of faith in the armour of God. So our shield is meant to really guard us and just protect us from the fiery darts of the enemy, darts of doubt, darts of confusion. This is just our protection. So in Hebrews 11 verse 1 it says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Our faith is such a strong defense, and if we let our guard down, we're going to get hit by doubt, we're going to get hit by confusion. So we just need to be vigilant and make sure that we're staying on guard. And the next one is the helmet of salvation. And I just think this one is so fitting to go as a helmet, because it's to do with the mind and mindset, a mindset of salvation. A lot of scriptures in the Bible deal with thoughts and capturing thoughts and making them obedient to Christ, and just protecting your thoughts and your heart, guarding your heart, all of this different stuff. So it makes perfect sense that our helmet of salvation, the very thing that we trust and hope in, goes on our head, where we control things, where we think about things, where we process things. It's covered by the knowing and the assurance and protection of a helmet of salvation. And the last but not least is the sword of the Spirit, which is the only offensive piece of armour in this list. And I've seen that in a lot of commentaries and different videos and things like that, where people mention that the sword of the Spirit is the only offensive part of armour. And that is because we're gonna do some damage. We're not just gonna be putting up a defense. We're going on the offense as well. We're coming to destroy the enemy. We're coming to tear down his kingdom, and our kingdom, the kingdom of God, will prevail. And the last thing that I wanted to mention in this video, which isn't really a piece of armour, but it's kind of a bonus one if you want to think of it as that, and that is prayer. Because it's not a piece of armour, but I think including verse 18 in Ephesians 6 as a Bible study is so important. And I think sometimes Bible studies can do from verse 10 to 17 and cut 18 off, but prayer is such an important tool. So it says, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. So prayer is our tool. When we feel hopeless, when we feel down, when we feel any kind of spiritual attack, prayer is the first thing that we need to do. Community and communion with God is the first thing that we need to do. And it can feel sometimes like you want to just curl into a ball, but the first thing to do is to get straight into communion with God. And that's why I've also included prayer on my list of importance in this short extract from Ephesians 6. Okay, so that is the end of today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed this mini Bible study of Ephesians 6, and if you did, then please make sure to let me know down below in the comments, and also let me know what other Bible studies you'd like me to do on different chapters throughout the Bible, Old or New Testament, I'm not too bothered. Make sure to leave a like down below, comment something encouraging for another viewer that passes by, and also make sure to subscribe if you haven't already before leaving today's video, and I'll catch you in my next one. Stay blessed and bye!